Okay, let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Because we've all been there, right? That absolute nightmare of a service call.
Oh, yeah. The 2-hour drive for a 5-second fist.
Exactly. You drive for hours, you're crawling behind some giant dusty rack, and why are you there? Because a DC power jack wriggled loose by like a millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're looking at how a $7 component completely solves that specific headache. We're doing a deep dive on the key digital KD-UKPLUG based on a product listing from HDTVSupply.
And you know, on the surface, it is a deceptively simple piece of hardware.
It really is.
It's just a UK adapter for their power supplies.
Yeah.
But when you look closer at the engineering, it's really a lesson in risk management for professional AV.
Right. And the thing that caught my eye immediately wasn't just that it's an adapter, but how it connects. It has a screw-in barrel.
Yeah, that's the key.
So, okay, play devil's advocate here for me. Is a screw lock really necessary on a 5-volt line? I mean, standard friction jacks have worked for decades, haven't they?
Well, in consumer gear, sure. But you have to think about the actual physics involved in a pro setup.
Okay.
A standard DC barrel jack relies purely on friction, just the tension of the metal contacts holding it in place.
Right.
But inside a rack, you have constant low-level vibration, just from cooling fans. Then you add heat cycles, components warm up, they cool down, the metal expands and contracts.
So it's not just about someone accidentally tripping over a cord.
No, not at all. It's about the connector slowly walking itself out over months or even years.
So the screw lock mechanism, it basically hardwires the power supply to the device without you having to break out a soldering iron.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
And you have to consider what this adapter is powering. I mean, Key Digital isn't selling toasters.
No.
They're dealing with enterprise, AV over IP, and huge matrix switchers.
That's a really good point. If I lose power to my toaster is just cold. If I lose power to an AV over IP encoder, what happens?
Oh, it's catastrophic.
Yeah.
It isn't just a screen dimming for a second. When a network-based device loses power, even for a microsecond, it drops off the network completely.
Right.
And when it comes back on, it has to boot up, it has to request a DHCP address, reestablish a handshake with the control server.
We're talking about minutes of downtime.
You're looking at 2, maybe 3 full minutes of system downtime, all because of a loose plug.
Yeah.
And that's why the physical lock matters so much.
And since this is the KD-UKPLUG specifically, we should probably talk about that form factor. British plugs, they are not small.
No, the BS 1363 standard is robust for sure, but it is bulky. It puts a lot of leverage and torque on a wall socket or a PDU strip.
So all that extra weight just hanging there.
Exactly. That weight makes a secure connection at the device end even more critical because the cable's always under more tension than, say, a slim US plug would be.
Okay, I want to pivot to the economics of this for a second because I think it tells an interesting story about the vendor, HDTVSupply. They're listing this for exactly $7, and that includes free shipping in the USA.
Which is practically unheard of.
Right. I mean, logistically, just putting a box in the mail costs money. At $7 delivered, are they even making a profit on this?
I would guess not, or if they are, it's just pennies.
Yeah.
But you have to view it as a service component, maybe even a loss leader.
Okay, I see.
HDTVSupply positions themselves as this 25-year global home for AV tech.
Yeah.
So by selling this adapter at rock bottom prices, they're removing the friction, pun intended, for the installer.
They don't want you hacking together some solution from a generic travel adapter bin.
Exactly. They want you using the correct locking purpose-built part for the system.
And it looks like they're backing that up with the warranty, too. I noticed the spec sheet says a 3-year warranty.
Yeah.
That seems unusually long for a little plastic accessory that's, effectively a disposable part.
It is very unusual. Most power accessories get, 90 days?
Yeah.
Maybe a year if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
A 3-year commitment on a $7 item is a really strong signal of trust in the build quality. It suggests they know the internal contacts won't corrode and the plastic isn't going to crack under the thermal load. It just aligns with that whole 833 Wolfpack support mentality they mentioned.
They're treating the tiny accessory with the same seriousness as the expensive switchers it powers.
Precisely.
So at the end of the day, we have a component that costs about the same as a cup of coffee, but its anchoring system's worth tens of thousands of dollars.
It's the cheapest insurance policy in the entire rack. It turns a potential single point of failure into a fixed variable.
So before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Okay.
We've just dissected the huge value of a literal secure connection that costs $7. So my question to you is, in your own life or your own tech stack, what is your equivalent of the screw-in barrel?
That is the question.
What's that tiny, affordable safeguard you're maybe overlooking that keeps the rest of your expensive ecosystem running smoothly?
Yeah, something to think about.
Thanks for diving in with us.